888.
I'm Dave Shaw, President and CEO of Shaw & Associates. For over 70 years, Shaw & Associates has been your trusted experts for wealth management, tax, accounting, and payroll. We change lives and inspire true wealth, one person, one family, one business at a time. Shaw & Associates is a wealth management investment firm that specializes in taxes, serving as a fiduciary, putting your interests first. You can find more information or schedule an appointment by calling 530-674-1150 or on the web at shawassociatesinc.com. Shaw & Associates is proud to support community radio.
We're grateful for his support. Dave also does our Market Minute, and he comes in once a month and he talks about money. So this morning, my interview, speaking of money, I guess, if it's a bank, we hope you guys have money, is John Jelavich from River Valley Community Bank. How you doing, John?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me this morning.
Well, I met you a long time ago,
yes, you did.
So I was asking Stacia, how long has John been at the bank? Because you're celebrating 20 years. Were you there in the beginning?
No, I came in 2010 is when I started. So the bank opened in June of 2006, and I came about 4 years later.
It took them that long to find a good guy?
I guess, yeah. It took me that long to find a good bank, I guess.
Had you always been in banking?
No, I was in a financial and credit-oriented role in the Bay Area, but it wasn't a bank. So it was heavy credit-oriented, but we didn't take deposits like traditional bank does. And so, I had a pretty good foundation when this opportunity came up, and decided to come back. Born and raised here in Yuba City, and spent 22 years in the Bay Area after college, and it's been a fantastic move for us to come back to the community where both my wife and I grew up.
So you did the super tramp thing, take the long way home?
Yes, we did. We did. It was all good. It was all good.
Yeah. This is a great community. Mm-hmm. And so how does a bank start, John? I mean, it's like there was no River Valley Community Bank here.
No,
there wasn't. So some people get together and go, let's do a bank. I mean,
yeah. So there was a bank, Feather River State Bank, served this community, and they were headquartered here in Yuba City. And then there was a number of mergers and acquisitions that occurred in the early 2000s, and they ended up being acquired, and so they kind of went away, and a number of folks involved with that organization started this bank.
Oh,
yeah.
And then remain local.
Yep, remain local, and our bank was started to fill a void and really provide relationship-oriented banking services for our local businesses, nonprofits, all real estate, agribusiness, construction. We're primarily a business-focused bank, but we do have all the retail bells and whistles, and take very good care of our retail customers, those local folks that want to bank with a community bank.
I tell people I always would look. When I was in Elk Grove, I banked at a bank called the Bank of Alex Brown, and I'm like, so this guy Alex Brown just started a bank. I don't know, but it was the only one, and Patty and I have always been that way. We just kind of. I want a local bank, right? Because they get it, right? And it's like when I first met you, you guys, I don't know, like you said, only been around 4 years. I knew you were relatively new, but I always liked the idea that the word community was in the bank. And then I ended up with community radio, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like there's something about we're local.
You probably would have been a good community banker, Fish.
I might have been of all the other professions I've tried, right? And then your wife, actually, when we first started the station, came and volunteered and did media for us. Just really great. You got kids too. Mm-hmm. You got the whole family thing.
Yeah.
You got to be loving this.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Very fortunate.
Yeah.
Yep. And really happy to be back in this community, and doing what we do is very satisfying. It's makes you feel proud when you can get behind a local business owner and provide financing that helps them grow their business and helps them add to the employee base here in our community. It's nice having being in a profession where you're providing something of value and you can see the impact of your efforts.
Yeah. Can we talk a little bit about small business and banking and how those two couple together? I've had a great concern because I watch how small businesses have struggled even after the whole COVID thing was terrible for small business. Yeah. And so if somebody starts a small business, right, because we're seeing a lot of these young entrepreneurs. I mean, I'm watching here in Marysville, every time I turn around, there's a new store, right? We just got a new yogurt shop, a new bakery. I mean, it's happening. So if they want to get help with that business, the banking portion of that, what does a bank do for them, John, to help a small business?
Well, I mean, to help them grow, a bank can provide working capital. If they have seasonal cash flow peaks and troughs, a working capital line of credit can help them bridge those seasonal months where cash flow is low. We provide a consultative role in many instances, for new businesses that, need financing but aren't quite ready yet. We can work with them to help them get, positioned to have traditional bank financing. We have good relationships with the local EDC. And so there's a number of ways that we get behind, our community and the businesses within the community.
And you guys are on both sides of the river now.
We are.
So, I mean, you're actually in two other cities, but you're now here, right here. You can go either side of the river.
That's right.
And you're over by the lake.
How
did you score that location? That's good. John, tell me, do you go over here and just sit and look at the lake?
Well, I do come over here a lot, but unfortunately I don't have a whole lot of time to just sit and look at the lake. I wish I did. But
So I know that in banking, they call them products, right? Different things that you can offer. So California had a law about small businesses having to provide retirement. Right? I forget when that came out. So if a business came to you and said, hey, look, I've got to do these things, is that part of what you guys do in consulting and tell them, hey, look, this is how you can do that?
To some degree. It just depends on exactly what the topic is. We don't really provide HR consulting or any of that. But most of the companies that we work with, have support for a lot of that, either through the chamber or they have an HR service that provides a lot of that. But we, from a financial point of view, we can provide a lot of good feedback and information, and whether that's on the lending side or the deposit side, there's a lot of tools that we can offer businesses on the deposit side to help them manage their cash better, securely. So we have a pretty solid portfolio of treasury management tools and ways of taking and receiving payments that businesses can use to enhance their security and improve efficiencies. It's there's a lot that we can offer and a lot of perspective for those that are getting started or growing.
I think this is great. Well, you guys are getting ready to do a 20-year celebration, right?
That's right.
And so the reason I ask those questions is because small businesses have unique, not like a large business doesn't, but small businesses have unique things that they have to fulfill by California law. Or just like you said, hey, if you're going to do deposits, we have ways of helping you do that. So it's great to know, okay, I can go to this bank and I can find out. And if they don't know, they have other resources. They can direct me to it. Yeah. Because I tell you, that young people are opening businesses. I just think it's great, you know. Great opportunity. So tell me about the celebration, John.
So this Friday, we're celebrating our bank's 20th anniversary in our Yuba City branch, which is located at 1629 Calusa Avenue. We're having a catered lunch serve from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And again, that's this coming Friday. And we just want to appreciate our customers and the community that's been very supportive of us over the years. And we're looking forward to having a little bit of fun and celebrating an important milestone.
Yeah, 20 years. God, where were you 20 years ago, John?
It goes by very quickly.
It does, doesn't it? You're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
How did I get here, right?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that we have local banking. I know I don't know how many banks are in the Yuba Sutter area, but I have noticed that the banks change. Like one day it'll be like you talked about the ones they got acquired by somebody else, and next thing you don't won't have that. Probably with a local bank, you have a different. I remember when I first had to go and talk to a banker about a loan for Mother Goose Preschool. We were expanding it, and you're not going to believe this, but at this time, so I go over and I talk to the bank manager, and he said, well, what are you trying to do, Pastor Bob? And I said, well, this is what I'm going to do. So I wrote up a proposal, said, this is what I need, this is how much money I need, and this is what I'm going to do with it, and teachers, training, building, changing. And so he says, all right, I'll come over there. So he comes over and he looks at the building, and then he goes back and he calls me. He said, okay, yeah, you got it. You can't do that anymore. You can't just, I mean, those days are gone where you can, but still with a small local bank, you have a better chance of going through the process because everything's local, right?
Yes, and we have local knowledge that the bigger banks don't have. And I think it's really important that, folks, establish a banking relationship.
Yeah.
Because that relationship matters a lot. And that relationship really enables us, the banker, to do things that maybe on paper don't look doable. But we know how, this business owner operates. We know how they're organized. We know how they're, we know them. And because we know them, we can do things that are maybe outside of the box for bigger banks.
So I do want to mention this because I read it on the flyer, John. It said everyone's invited. You want to, your clients that you currently have, people that have a relationship with the bank, that's kind of a no-brainer. But you wanted other people to know, come meet us. Yeah, come find out who we are.
Exactly. Definitely. We've been here for 20 years, and there's still people in this community that don't, know that we're here. And it's interesting, but it's true. We don't do a lot of advertising. Most of our, growth has come from word of mouth.
Yeah.
There used to be, 3 local banks that serve this community, and again, consolidation has reduced that to just us.
Wow.
And so we're kind of leaning into that void, and again, we provide that local decision making, local knowledge. The relationship aspect of banking and the connection with our customers and the trust that we establish over time that's kind of gone missing or is becoming more rare in our industry.
I think that can be true of any business where pretty soon that personal side's gone. And that's why I said my wife and I, we always look for a bank where we can know the tellers, right? Know the people when we walk in.
Yeah.
And I think that you're right. We're losing that in our community. I didn't realize you guys were the last bastion
of hope. We're the last local bank in serving this community.
Wow.
In fact, all of the communities that we serve, Grass Valley was served by a local bank that went away, and we filled the void there. Same with Auburn. So it's been, we opened an office in Roseville last September, and that's a much bigger market, and there's larger community banks there. But in terms of our markets, we're really the only bank like ours that's, very local oriented and there to, provide a different brand of banking, if you will, that's very much relationship centric and we have, good connections with our customers, and they trust us, and that's something that we take
huge.
A lot of pride in.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you have to go to those other banks, Grass Valley?
Yes, I do. And it's not that I have to go. I like going. It's
John, you don't have free time. No wonder you can't look at the lake.
Yeah.
That's funny.
The communities that we serve really share a lot of commonalities with this Yuba Sutter area, and it's very satisfying to be out and meet people, and again, providing something that's valued and different is satisfying from our point of view.
Yeah. I think the part I relate with you is I was on commercial radio, I was on talk radio, and commercial radio is very different, right? A lot of times the radio stations are not owned locally. It's one of the reasons that John McCain fought for community radio to exist. And he said, you didn't get to hear the local voice. And that's what we decided to do, man, give the community a voice. That's what John McCain said we should do. And it's turned out to be a good thing. And so what you're talking about, it becomes relational.
Yeah.
And so a local bank, that's going to be your concern. This is your community.
Yeah.
And with you guys, you actually came back. Welcome back, John.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came back.
Yeah.
This is really good. So anything else you'd like to, did I miss anything?
No, I just, it's hard to believe 20 years here we are. We're very excited about that. We're looking forward to the next 20. We relish our independence. We don't really have a game plan that evolves around selling to a bigger bank. We are owned locally, by owners and shareholders that actually all of our communities that we serve, we have shareholders in. And we work hard to deliver them a satisfying return on their investment in our bank. And, as long as we continue to do that and, deliver value for our customers and keep an engaged employee base, we will continue to maintain control of our destiny. And that's our goal. So.
I like it. It's easy for me because I love this community, to get behind community banking. So. Yeah.
And the good thing, too, is, the deposits that we take in get lent out locally. It's not like a large national bank where your deposits, who knows where they get deployed, and, the bulk of our deposits get deployed in the form of loans back into our communities, and that's important, too, to people.
You remind me of that whole "It's a Wonderful Life."
Yeah, I know. That comes up a fair amount.
You're like the savings and loan, right?
Yeah.
And Mr. Potter is.
Yeah.
I want to be careful how I say that, but as you were talking, I'm thinking this is really like that.
Yeah.
It's and again, I appreciate. The big thing to me right now is small business, encouraging and energizing in small business. You can make it. Stay with it. What you don't know, talk to somebody that does know. Stay in community with other small businesses, and because this area is going to grow. It's already growing, and I just think having a local bank that's huge, right? Somebody that understands the community. I think that's huge.
Yep.
And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it,
Well,
John.
I think you've got a great story. I concur with. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, John, for being on.
Thanks for having me this morning.
This community interview is made possible by Shaw and Associates.
I'm Dave Shaw, President and CEO of Shaw and Associates. For over 70 years,